Okay. Fine.
We live?
Are we on?
Yes.
Are we still alive?
No. We are dead.
We're on Facebook undead.
Live on TikTok.
That's sweet. I love that.
That would be cool. Get the zombie filters.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
We're trying to get Facebook started.
It's on. It started.
TikTok's live? Or Facebook's live?
Facebook's live.
Oh, Dennis!
Twitches!
Is Discord running?
Yes. My butthole is what? The black hole we've gone into is Tuesday night!
Hey! Live finally on everything except for Twitch
And Discord.
and YouTube.
5 more minutes and Mike could have created a black hole through the universe.
I did actually, but we won't talk about that.
Welcome everyone to Tuesday Night Gaming.
Hello.
Don't forget to stop by our YouTube
Hello.
channel.
Hello.
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 Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Don't forget to stop by our YouTube channel and check out all the previous games we've recorded and character intros and things like that.
Like strawberry shortcake. The home version.
Oh, she's a
The home
bitch.
version.
And what she did? You want to take it down?
It's the peculiar purple pie man. Roll initiative. I thought I'd say that.
Okay. Well, last week prior, we were playing Deadlands Classic. Brad's character Cobb wished to go on a journey to bring in Mr. Connor, which is the band, the Five Fists. Connor
Journey makes it
McAllister.
sound so profound, you know.
You want to do a German?
No, I said it. A journey makes it sound
Oh,
so
wow.
profound.
Yeah,
A German makes it so profound.
I
don't know what the Germans have to do with it.
I was taken here, and he will die, and he will be have a vengeance. Yeah! Yeah!
You're gonna blow something, man. Or else we go down.
Sorry.
There goes that vein.
Yeah, no, you just got over a heat stroke. Come on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get in here and break Cutter and super fly spooky. Anyway, so Five Fists.
He did have heat stroke.
I did.
Burned his brain.
Yeah, with the cell this one.
Very last
Five
cell.
Fists run by Connor McAllister. He brought a gang to your establishment, the Broken Banjo, wanting some of the items that were hidden away there. You pretty much told him to get stunk out the door. Didn't like that too much, and while you guys were on the journey to Mexico, he sent a bunch of guys, about 15 of them, to attack and burn down your establishment. The local people came together and started to fight him, and then from out of nowhere, a sandstorm appeared from your neighbor next door, who's a huckster. And in the middle of that, Egyptian huckster, and in the middle of it, some large 9 to 10 foot mad cow creature came in and started ripping the guys apart. They were all dead except for one, which was a
Hector? Or no, Julio.
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 Me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Excuse me, that was a burp.
And every time I hear Julio's name, I think of that song.
So Julio, who didn't want to fight you to begin with, basically told you guys that his sister, Terria, was captured by Connor because... Huh?
Rob was playing his beard. Like a mouth
Oh,
harp.
yeah.
It's a blow mouth harp, I guess. It was just
I was wiggling it at you. Shut up!
Ooh, it's not that kind of video. Not
Make
that
it more money, though.
That's
We are
very active
18
live
plus.
play, I tell you.
We're switching from Twitch and Facebook and everything to
Count
OnlyFans.
on, yeah.
Pornhub, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, Julio's sister, Teresa, was being captured by Connor, and unless he started fighting for him in his fights he had in Memphis, he was going to basically take his sister and put her in the brothels. So Julio started fighting, box fighting, and taking falls, and he moved him for him since. And he wanted him to fight Connor. That was kind of Cobb. That was kind of the last straw. So he told you about the operation. There's 5 gangs. The Embryos, which were basically robbers, enforcement, piracy, smuggling. They pretty much got wiped out in the sandstorm. The Tip Top Gang, which was more refined, gamble, fencing, kind of the sciences. Original McAllister, which was their head, got killed during that time. The other one is the Black Dragons, run by Kai Lin, and she is the one where is holding Julio's sister, Carissa. Then also the Gray Boys, which is another larger gang of the Confederacy there. They're kind of like a lot of soldiers that were kicked out of the army or hurt or injured. They kind of ran into this group.
They're all one-legged, one-armed.
Yeah, a lot of them are. They're kind of like veterans and stuff like that, and some of them aren't making a lot of money, so they kind of started forming a gang up and doing a lot of other stuff, mercenaries, everything else. They're ran by a general by the name of, we got it right here, General Hemlock, Anthony Hemlock, and pretty much he used to be in charge of Connor in his games and stuff, but somehow it got switched recently, where he's now working for Connor, which is kind of odd. And you had heard of General Hemlock because basically him and Lee were butted heads a lot because he would do his own thing. If he had orders he didn't agree with, he'd do it his way, and it was kind of like Custer. He kind of like started doing some stuff at his own arrogance. Sometimes he'd get really lucky and save the day, so he became a little bit of hero worship. A lot of times he just got lucky. And his arrogance, sometimes he'd go raid a town and burn stuff down that they didn't want to do in the first place. So he got, pretty much, he ruined, cost a lot of Confederates their lives during the battle, and it was enough. Lee was able to have him removed, and pretty much he became in charge of the Gray Boys. And he's trying to get his way back in ever since Lee's now stepped down. Because Lee's no longer the head general. So he's been trying to make a name for himself. But it's kind of weird that Connor suddenly took over him out of nowhere. So that's kind of a Connor. And then Pitch Fit Rollers, which is actually Connor's gang. They roll fights, drugs, everything out of Memphis is under him. And then you went out of town to find Jorge, the former owner of the Manjo's secret lair, where he hid a bunch of paperwork and other stuff. Yeah. It's deja vu. And you found out he had like a giant tarantula that he had a whistle to keep it at bay. You were going there and found a bunch of money and some other documents, but you did find paperwork to prove that Connor's name was all over the fact that he was responsible for the Union coming in there trying to blow up the bridge and probably take out Lee.
Ben says the sound is echoey but tolerable.
Echoey.
And Bobby said, I'm going to shut my computer down when you try to make it the computer that sounds wrong.
No.
Yeah, there's two people.
Yeah.
There's two.
Damn it, Ben, look what you've done.
No, I wanted to be good. Let's see. Pause.
Try moving. Does this microphone come down any further?
Is this one on?
Can't tell
As far as you got.
it's on.
This is switch.
Trying to separate the microphones out a little bit more to see if that might be the reason.
Yeah, it's on. Says
Is it plugged in?
Yeah, it's plugged in. They're all on.
Yeah, you turn the power on to the computer.
Well, I'll wait and see if they say anything.
Ooh. I'm actually above
So
it.
people talk.
Oh, people talk. Sorry.
Something?
What is this? One thing is to stop. If you guys are ever having a bad day, you just remember you're not dead.
You guys are fine, Dale.
Yeah? Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? How's it going?
Yeah,
Backwards, Ross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's go. Shush.
Okay.
Test.
Your ship's really well.
Okay.
It's all working.
Yeah. Guess so.
I could even hear my phone in the background. So.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, let's hopefully let's know it's better. It could be this mic. Maybe we're getting an echo effect.
It might be because these are directionals and that's Omni. So
Yeah. I mean,
Let us know if it's.
still echoey, guys. So. Yeah. So anyway, you found out that there was paperwork all over there.
if you don't like the sound, send us money to buy better mics.
Hey,
They'll probably send us money to shut up.
you just need $20 to get a better mic.
Give us more money and we'll shut up.
And he might actually show up on it. He actually might have it running on time too.
Get that set of lavalier mics.
Lavalier.
Lavalier.
Lavalier. No, but it showed that in those paperwork, flushed out a little bit more, that pretty much the main focus of that was to try and kill Lee.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what Connor was up there doing, and you guys were able to force it, but it definitely had his markings all across it.
And that's what he wanted back from.
Right. He wanted documents, and he wanted that whistle. That's what he didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but the whistle was to get up there. He didn't quite know where this place was. It was hidden, but he knew he had to get that whistle. When he got there, too, you saw one of the gray boys had been eaten by the tarantula. And, you know, he's two-toe Jack. He was the one who fell up. He was an excellent tracker. But he was the one that was hanging up there.
Great tracker, but really situationally unaware.
Yes. Well, yeah, dude.
I found my way into this orgy. I know what to do now.
What the hell is this here gate? Yeah, so that's kind of where we came back. You did talk to Bo's.
He's looking at this. Oh, I'm trying to kill it.
No, I have heard.
No, Dale.
Son of a. Sorry, you're a player. I'll be nice.
We don't like new folks around here.
We don't like your kind around here.
And the goes to Russell Cooper, directed us to where the chunk of gold was,
Cooper.
and we took that and we did give it to his daughter Emma.
Yes.
And her husband,
Yep.
in which he beat her and then took the money and ran.
And that's hence the new song.
Took the money and ran.
Took the money and ran.
Yes, but yes, you did give that ghost really piece finally too, and buried him. And yes,
And met a new friend.
met a new friend
and killed the
on other
tarantula.
side.
And hopefully put the ghost rock fire out.
No, we met the other
And
guy.
Yes. Marie, you found Marie, which was Bo's one of his daughters. She's actually a Texas Ranger, along with Hank Ketchum, and they had come before you even left for that, going to tell him that they suspect Connor, but he's pretty untouchable because he turned a lot of stuff on the north. Anyway, when he came back, she took the evidence, you gave it to her, and she went to find Ketchum and try and get some Rangers involved to basically figure out half him. So
Oh, okay. We didn't go over that part.
she was talking about it when you guys left.
We left off when we were having dinner with what's her name, Cooper's family, his daughter. That's
Well,
where
we
we
can
left
pick it
off.
up there.
Yeah.
And pretty much, they've waved goodbye, and you guys are heading back to town.
The shotgun at him.
Yep. If you get a shot, you could probably get the whole family and a good spray pattern.
Sweet. And then we'll go get that crazy guy to dig a grave.
Yeah.
And I'll give last rites.
No, go ahead, there.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are basically starting to head back to town. As you're riding back, it'll only take a short journey back to get there. And Marie basically, she goes, "Well, if y'all don't mind, I think I will take that documentation to Ketchum and prove to him what's going on. Maybe we get the Rangers more involved. It's going to be kind of difficult. A lot of people aren't going to believe that Connor's is a triple agent, I guess you could call him."
Well, you do whatever's necessary.
All right. If you want to go on ahead, I don't know how long this might take.
Go on ahead to Memphis or go on ahead to Nashville?
Nashville, I thought.
Yeah, Nashville.
All right, then.
I mean, where are you guys going to head, do you think?
Nashville.
I know, wherever Connor's living.
Well, we gotta stop that.
Well, alright, well, first we've got to sell the problem with Julio's sister. That's got to happen no matter what.
Now, he stayed there at the banjo.
Julio's at the
Yeah.
banjo.
So, well, we'll just go back to them. We reckon all of them. I guess we'll figure out what we had. And you guys travel pretty much to the banjo. As you get there.
So we do go back to Memphis.
Yes, you do go back to Memphis because you had to get Julio. So.
Oh, did we need Julio?
Yeah, because
He knew how to get where she was at.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he would be able to stay with her once we got her out of there.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, knew the sister recognized him, so. Because as far as she knows, if she does anything, it'll kill him, and vice versa. So if she knows you guys are actually with him, she'll be more willing to go.
Some chloroform will do the job.
Yeah, it did. It worked for me. I mean, I'm here, but yeah. So pretty much, you guys get there. You have that conversation with Marie, and basically she goes on out, starts trying to find Hank, wherever he went.
Where did he say he went? He went to go have breakfast, and then he went to go do something else.
Yeah, he was gonna go talk to some folk.
Okay.
Bobby said that it sounds like reverb. So
Reverb?
she doesn't know if the mics are too close. or the
Levels
settings
might be too high, or the mics are too close together.
Yeah, 'cause she said it sounds like reverb.
Well, what I could do, I could switch. We can undo that mic. And I can put that other table mic back up.
Maybe that's it, because we didn't have this one last time.
I thought I'd try it.
Yeah, probably what it is. Turn this off.
Yeah. You can turn it on. There's a little button on top.
Steve is now attempting his singing career.
Shane.
For those of you who are curious, this is Steve the dinosaur, the roleplayosaurus.
Hello, I'm Steve. Hello.
He's the one that has a set of dice we still have to give away.
Someone just freaked out. What
Somebody who's deathly afraid of dinosaurs.
If we can get
Oh my God, they're back!
if we can get to 50 subscribers on YouTube, we'll give Steve's other set of dice away.
How many subscribers do we have?
40.
Really?
For the last 6 years.
12.
This is for the last 6 years. We've been at 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we get to 50, we get to 100, we'll give you a mic.
Yep.
They'll come to your house and scrape it and paint it
Set
for
up your
you.
Facebook Live.
No. I set up though. It'll take me an hour and then I'll leave. Well, hopefully that sounds better. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know if that made a difference in the sound on Facebook.
Yeah, I was wondering if the
I was thinking maybe getting another one of these. Send it right there. What do you guys think? Of this type?
What type is that?
Is it
Same as this one?
same as that one. These seem to be really good mics.
Yeah.
They're not that
I think
expensive.
that one
Last week,
surround it was
with Dennis and Brad down here, you could hear these two just like they were right on it.
And
So,
I think that's what I'll do. I'll get one of them from right here.
okay.
And then we get these two guys, and then one for you guys down there. And I think it'll be pretty sound.
Okay.
Let's get 5 more up here.
I was thinking like in every register and in every ear.
Yeah.
And then,
We wear them around our necks.
the old-fashioned style.
the time I set it up, you're all dead.
Hurry up and level.
I can't see them.
I can't feel my hand.
What role play is this?
It's like the Saw role-playing game or something.
Safe word. He's saying the safe word. All right. So,
That really creepy note.
let's continue. Yeah, you really want to? Okay.
What do they call it? Snuff gaming?
Stop gaming.
Is that
Oh, it was on.
This is fun.
It was on.
When your character dies, so do you.
Ooh.
right, so, yeah. So she leaves. You guys are kind of getting ready to pack up then, get the wagon ready and all that.
It was already ready.
Okay. As you're about to head out, from across the street, which is right over there, you do see it has the Chinese family, the Chinese laundry, the old guy, and his son. They start kind of walking over kind of hurriedly. He's kind of limping over there. He's kind of injured, but he going in. His son's like trying to talk to him, Chinese hesitantly, and he keeps waving him off. They basically have like a little bundle of something, but they're walking over towards you. It's a baby.
It's laundry.
It's a bunch of baby heads.
It's a bunch of baby heads. My father says you'll need this. I don't think you do.
We make you baby head soup.
Very good.
Why is he limping? One of them did his ankle.
He's got the baby on it. They're harrowed. It's okay.
I don't think we're going to take
Yeah, we can something else. Anyway,
We will accept it. What is it?
yeah. He kind of comes up and he bows. He goes, "Dayo," and I go, "Dayo venemos." And you.
And yes, Mike speaks Chinese.
Yeah, I don't think I've listened to him that much.
But he says like that, and then he kind of pauses, and then the son kind of goes, "I am very sorry, my father. I am Wang Chi, and then my father is he's Wang Chi.
We're Wang Chi Jr.
Yeah, no, what? No,
You're Chung Li?
Chumley.
Chun-Li. He's got the pigtails.
Chang Lao?
Really nice legs.
but no, he is Wang Chi. I am Li Chai.
All right.
I look at my notes wrong.
Okay.
He is Wang. I am Li.
And we're all
He's got the little tag. Hello, my name
Name is Lee.
we're all kung fu.
Hi, I am Wang.
What is this that you're...
Oh, this is some food for you for your journey.
Okay.
And he kind of goes, he says something like that. He's like, oh, you over there ask for food, it goes like this.
How'd you even know we're even going anywhere?
Well, you guys, he'd bring some food over and other stuff when you guys were talking about stuff. Because there was one point you guys came in and were talking with Julio and stuff. They had brought stuff over and so on and so forth. I says, my father.
We always like to discuss important plans when the neighbors are around.
They saved your place, man. I think they deserve it.
My father wanted me to ask you, excuse me.
If you'll go out with me tonight.
Yes, on a big date.
Oh, sweet.
With him.
That's
I'm asking for him.
anime.
Not for me. I'm asking for a friend.
Baked in a big Newton cookie.
I'm unfortunate. No, okay, no.
That got really weird, really
I don't know if I
Yeah,
go.
all right.
I don't know if I can go on tonight.
I don't think I'm going to Nashville like that.
It's an anime convention. Everybody's in
We
their own
got
thing.
some peyote mixed in with this crab rangoon or something.
I think it was at the Mike's Pizza Ranch.
No more Pizza Ranch before we game,
Yeah,
Mike.
you don't get Chinese food at Pizza Ranch.
The Chinese chicken they got, or the Oriental chicken that they have, though, is really good. That's Chinese chicken. Excuse
Pizza
me.
Ranch?
Sounds. They didn't mean to sound racist there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they have like an Oriental chicken that they, like fried chicken.
Yep.
But man, it's
At Pizza Ranch?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's killer. Yeah, it's.
Never going to
And
Really
tonight's episode is not sponsored by Pizza Ranch.
But if Pizza Ranch wants to sponsor us, give us a call.
Especially with free food on Tuesdays.
For all of your kids.
Pizza Ranch.
Because we're all kids here.
Oh, it's you guys and the Chinese chicken. Get out of here.
Well, I made this costume.
You're molting feathers over the face. Out, out, out.
Oh,
What are you supposed to be? General So's?
this is a big toe.
Look more like General So-and-so.
Take him and your Colonel Sanders, buddy.
I'll say.
Boy,
Is it one that sells chicken got the rank in military rank?
I believe we do.
oh Lord.
Yeah,
So what was when Flavor Flav has that chicken place? Was he Sergeant Flavor Flav? No, he did have a chicken place. Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
I think
He loved Red Lobster. I knew that.
I don't know about Red Lobster, but I think he had a chicken place. It's out of business now, though.
Yeah, I think I only had like a couple of places.
Yeah, so the rest some were close by to here, though. It was like Iowa or Illinois or something like that.
Really? Well, they should have called us. We could have
Captain D's?
cosplay and everything. Oh well. Anyway,
A franchise called Private Chicken would go over.
private cock.
Oh, Private Cock. You gotta
What
go
was
back
the?
to it.
What was Jay and Silent Bob's business from the last movie? No, not movies. It was. Oh crap! I can't remember now. Jay and Silent Bob.
I'll show some alcohol.
Oh,
So the ancient Chinaman gives us food.
yeah. It's like my father wants me to ask you. So he's mentioned when he was bringing over food to you earlier. You mentioned the black dragons.
Yeah.
You did say these words.
One of us probably said those words.
He kind of gets animated about it. You know, like, what the hell is that one? And he's like,
It's funny how he doesn't speak a bit of English, but somehow he understood us say black dragons.
His son probably heard it.
It's like, no, he has heard the name. It is a criminal organization. It is Nashville.
Oh, we're not planning on joining him.
They are very dangerous. They are headed up by a rival of my father's.
A rival of your father's?
Yes. Well, of our family, I guess.
For the laundromat business, or are you doing something else on the side?
Well, we make food.
We-
We Chinese food and laundry.
They invented the Chinese buffet.
So there's another franchise.
That's actually true. I didn't know they had food there.
Yeah, they do.
No, they have food
So
there.
there's soap plates and corn and chicken plates.
Please do
Not
not
like
like
those big.
and blood flakes.
Laundry detergent and sticky buns.
And if you do have sticky buns, we'll wash them.
Oh.
And bathhouse.
And bathhouse. And he's like,
Yeah, we're aware if it's a criminal organization, we're trying to save somebody from it.
and he relays that to him. And you're picking up a little bit now. And he's like, he kind of shakes his head. He's like, no, you do not understand. The leader, Lo Pan, may be close.
Low pan?
Low pan? Which low pan?
Which low pan?
Tall roadblock and a little basket case on wheels.
What insane! I saw him in the street. little Easter egg for
Yeah.
you.
Oh God, we're playing Rust.
That stole my truck.
Yeah. Stole my wagon.
Stole my wagon.
It was full of pork
He
chops.
says he may be close.
And he goes, my father used to be head of a dojo in China. My father is what you would call enlightened.
Albino.
He's a sensei.
I met some of them folks when I was in California.
He nods. He goes, unfortunately, our family has fallen far from grace, mainly due to Lo Pan.
You afraid that if we go there, we're gonna get Lopan to come here after you?
He relays that. He's like, oh. He's like, no, he says it is more a concern for you. He would not like to see any of you get injured or hurt in any way. You are good men, honorable men.
You think Lopan is in Nashville?
He feels he senses him there. Perhaps he is coming to see my father and I. But that is a long time ago. But even then, it would not be something Lopan would do. It would be more of a visit.
Sounds like we're killing two stones with one bird.
Besides, if Lopan said if he ever saw our family, he would kill us on sight.
If he ever saw you.
any of my father or his dojo. Now there's just myself and my sister and father now. And you've seen the sister over there. She's actually.
Well, I'll say as long as you stay here, if he comes looking for you.
He says, but it would be difficult to get audience. Why is it you wish to see this man? Or the
Particularly wish to see anybody.
Yeah, we're not looking to see him.
We're just looking to get a girl out of.
And then he's like, they have my sister, man. They might throw her to the bother or work or kill her if they think I've turned.
So we're gonna go get her out of there before they get a chance.
And he gets animated again after he tells it. He's like, you do not understand. There are many enlightened within the Black Dragon community. He says, many of you may not survive a confrontation of such proportion. My father wishes, and he goes, he kind of pauses as his father says something. They kind of get in a little argument. And you're picking up with your the language is like, he's kind of saying, no, father, that's all we have left. And he's like, oh, no.
What do you mean that's all you have left?
He kind of eyes you, but he kind of rattles something off. It's hard for you to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, I said that back in English.
Yeah, he's like, my father has part of the Emerald Lotus that was given to him by Princess Malin.
What's the Emerald Lotus?
It is a symbol of the Emperor's family and also of our dojo. It is the only thing that has any sort of honor left to our names.
How's that supposed to help us fight a bunch of enlightened?
My father said that he would kill any of the family on sight, but he would not kill emissaries of our house. And the only way to recognize that house is with this symbol. And he produces it. It's basically like this engraved emerald icon of a dragon, kind of that yin and yang looking symbol. Kind of guard.
Amulet?
Yeah, like an amulet, like half of it. He says he is willing to let you take this and be able to get an audience with Lopan, or at least Kailin. They would have to respect whatever communication you would have with her without a confrontation. And he kind of he talks again. He says, "I should go, father. I should go." And he's like, "No, they will kill you. It's done. If these are good men, I owe them for changing here."
Well, getting an audience with them isn't exactly going to help us out much.
But I see their point. If we're captured and taken before them,
It is true.
we could use that as a bartering chip to at least talk our way out of it. Give us the girl and no harm will come to you, kind of thing.
Why would they give us the girl just because of this?
That I do not know, but my father says it would at least give you the honor or respect of a meeting, or get you out of trouble if you do tend to get into such things. It is something he offers willingly. It is a great honor.
I'll take it. If you don't mind, I've countered some of
I already
them
got
in California.
I already got God around my neck.
Well, if you think you know what they're doing now,
I
go for
don't,
it.
But I need all the help I can get.
True.
Well, he
He
said it like that, and he comes up, he bows.
I kind of do the same because when I spent time in Bodie, California, we traveled with a couple of men. So.
My father, he starts saying something like more reverently. He kind of takes it off and he's holding it in his hand. He's like, my father, a long time ago, was a defender of a dojo, Jinsan. They were protectors of a holy relic called the Buddha of the Moon, the balanced Buddha of the Moon, which held both yin and yang upon it. This Buddha would, once the viewer looked upon it, would see both sides of themselves becoming the other, and then when they view it again, become the other themselves back again, to fulfill your enlightenment down the path of your true self. During a visit of the Emperor's family, Westerners and another rival group attacked. Lo Pan was also in charge of protecting this shrine, but it was gone. my father failed to protect the sacred Buddha, instead of choosing to protect the family. That is why we are in great disgrace.
That's why you lost your honor.
Although the emperor was very thankful for the love, he too must follow the path of what was the honor be. And during that time, Malin and he became in love. Malin is my mother, as Mao Chi is also. Unfortunately, she passed away before coming here to this thing. We do not know if it was revivals, but Father believes it was Lo Pan's vengeance upon him for choosing one over the other. He wishes you to carry it and bring a word that you are a representative of him and that you have the honor and respect to deserve a meeting. And basically, he kind of tells you that, you know, although the house is not the honor of this symbol is, and you should do these men respect as you would do me in a meeting.
Do him.
Yeah, right there.
And his name is Wang Chi.
Wang Chi's the son, yes.
Okay. And so what is
Li Chai.
Li Chai? What is the name of the dojo? Or is it just Li Chai?
Ginseng.
Ginseng.
And I made these up, I have no idea.
Okay.
Very white.
And I'm on behalf of Splinter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, so we're looking for Shredder.
You're looking for a rat?
Yeah, we're looking for a rat.
Yeah. Shredder is actually Lo Pan, so. Anyway, yes, but he says, carry this.
That makes so
throw
much
it,
sense.
And then, you know, they will have to respect you.
Yeah, well, we're not exactly looking for an audience, but if it comes to it, it's kind of might come in handy, I suppose.
It will.
So if he's your rival, why would he honor this?
It is more the house, the name of the house, more than he.
All right.
He is honoring the house he was once part of as well.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure to get it back as soon as we return.
And he hands it off, and when he does, you visibly see him get weaker. Like he kind of stumbles a little bit, and the sun kind of helps him up. So he kind of like loses some of his chi with it.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I mean, you can sense a chi power through it. There's like that wind.
Yeah, the anime.
So when he hands it, there's like the wind kind of flows around Copperhead a little bit. There's like a couple rose petals fly by.
I kind of do that.
Rose petals.
Hand that to me again. Get a picture of this.
He's like, oh, okay. But he goes like, he bows and wishes you a good journey. You know,
I'll return the.
and then they go.
How much can you steal?
But he helps his father back, and then you can, Brad, you're kind of getting the lingo down a little bit. You can see he's still kind of arguing that he should go. Is that a bottle I can open over here?
I saw somewhere. Yeah.
So, but he's adamant against it. So, but yeah, pretty much that's it. They go back to the thing. You do see the daughter kind of out there, just kind of standing off the side in her dress, and she is very attractive, but just kind of like looking kind of worried. And as he gets closer, she kind of runs out, helps him up. They take him in. He sits down on a bench and just kind of like looks exhausted, just tired of everything.
So where'd you learn all that bowing and stuff?
I was in California for a time, Bodie, California, and I met a couple of these enlightened fellas.
So what exactly does this enlightenment thing mean?
Well,
They're wise men
no.
or religious figures?
You ever seen any of these Asian folk do martial arts? Like their fighting styles?
Seen some people do a square dance once.
Okay, well, these fellas fight like nothing I ever seen. They're faster. I saw a guy catch a bullet out of the air one time. I don't know how he did it. He caught it and threw it back at the fella and shot him in the leg. Don't ask me how. They attribute it to this chi that they store up, some sort of spiritual energy, I guess. I've seen a fella take down 4 guys with one hand. I don't know how he did that either, but They were on my side at
If
that
you have a
time.
Colt, you can roll if you do.
They were on my side at the time, and if that works for them, well, I'm glad to have it.
All right.
And if we got to go up against fellas like that, I would much rather have this to talk our way out of it than deal with that kind of thing.
6 is my highest.
8-11.
Well, it seems to me like there's a whole lot of people who don't want us to go there at all.
I'm going to roll since now I have double call Colt. Maybe I know what.
Your target number is a 7.
22.
5.
Yes, you've heard of what he's talking about. It's called Chi, and they basically draw energies from the hunting grounds or the elemental powers, almost kind of closer to what the Native Americans do, but in their own way. So they draw a lot of power from the hunting grounds. I mean,
Yeah, Bobby said TikTok sounds good, and so does Facebook now, so it must have been that
it
microphone.
was that microphone.
Toss that mic out.
Get out of here, Mike.
I'm sorry.
No, sorry, wrong mic.
fired! You're fired! You're fired!
Donkey shit.
I still think one of these would be better there too. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know that they can be quite powerful. I mean, it's like hucksters, except they don't really have that backlash of sorts. And you know they can do incredible martial arts. And it would be like when he describes some of these people and he talks about them, you've read stuff where they could be, one man could take down 100 people. So if they have several of these people there, could be pretty bad. Just so you know. Just with a 21, you know that some of these guys can be pretty powerful. So, but they have a limit. With the 21, yeah, you know, they can only draw up so much energy, and then they're done. But they still are accomplished hand-to-hand fighters. Better off shooting from far away before they can get close to you, because once they do, you're toast.
That's what Kelvin's for.
How long till my steam-powered
You might even
Gatling guns rise?
maybe in the European thing, you might even have been some representatives there, and you probably witnessed some of them in your battle in court. Maybe the martial arts were there, and you probably spoke with one of these enlightened. So you've actually had personal one-on-one
So
experience.
basically snipe them at all costs.
Just imagine you watched some of the martial arts movies, so you have that kind of knowledge right now. So anyway,
So shoot them at a distance and keep moving. Gotcha.
Well, like I said, unless they catch a bullet out of the air, that one fella did.
but you also know too.
So dynamite all the way. Gotcha.
Word,
Right,
you
right.
do certain things in certain ways. Authority. So
Nobody can dodge dynamite.
anyway, okay. That was pretty well all that. You get everything ready to go after all that. But
Okay.
head on out.
Well, let's go.
Hit them up, move them out, move them out, head them on, head them on, moving up. Raw
She
high.
said, and then also Maria tells you too, if we don't catch before we leave, there's a ranger station. Hi, Belle. There's a ranger station in every town, right?
No.
No.
No. They're
There's like one in Roswell. There's one in the main one is in Richmond right now.
They have a few offices, but there's not one in every town. It's
I
like
just
one
need to
for
try.
a
Probably the
state, maybe.
Probably the closest one is probably Atlanta. I don't know if if Tennessee would even have one or not. Because none of the books none of the descriptions
Probably
have
not
it.
Tennessee because it's too close to disputed lands.
yeah.
Disputed territories, so it's probably mostly in the south.
It's also more heavily with military and stuff too, with regular troops.
She tells you that there's a kind of a gun shop there in town called the 50 Cal. Go there.
Kelvin's like, "Whoop."
Go there, and they kind of know him,
Oh, okay.
like a personal contact. So they'll end up going there eventually. So he's kind of a gun dealer, but he's dealt with the Rangers before. So okay.
Kind of like a message drop.
Yeah, and if they run through town, they kind of stop there, and if they have a problem, it's a pretty good. It's a safe house.
that sells guns.
Yeah, 50 Cal.
Helpful.
Gotta be safe
It's
there.
actually just a cannonball.
It's a
but
50
yeah,
pounder.
it is getting kind of evening. After you've done all that during the day, still head on over. Probably going to take you. What did you think about 2 days ride?
To get from Nashville to Memphis? Memphis to Nashville, I mean.
Riding horses?
Well, we've got a wagon,
Wagon.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Probably about, I was just looking that up. Probably on horseback, it's actually probably going to take about 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Horseback
For
with the wagon, yeah,
probably
it's probably
4.
going to take 3 or 4 days.
You camping on the way, or are you going to try and stop at saloons? Or
There's probably enough towns along the way we could probably,
okay.
although unless you guys want to camp, just camp along the roads or something like that. It's fine
Keep
too.
people from noticing where we're going if we camped. Probably.
Yeah.
We'd definitely be able to hide our movement better if we were to camp and not stop in the towns.
Well, we'll probably have to go through the towns, but at least we won't
Passing
be
through
stopping.
is not stopping and hanging
Yeah.
out, though.
Oh, that's
So
true.
yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. Well, in that case, you guys get what you need on the road. Bo also tells you too. He's like on the trip. He goes like, now, gentlemen in that town, the Five Fists do have enemies, although they pretty much knocked most of them out.
In Nashville?
Yes. Well, I'm familiar with Miss Molly of the Blue Madams. She kind of rolls. Used to run many of the brothels there in town until the Black Dragons took over most of it. But she is a good personal, close friend of my own, and if we want any other intelligence of the city, she'd be the ear that would give it to us if we want to know anything.
Miss Molly.
She would probably know exactly what Connor's rotation would be. And there's the Rich Street RacSocs, their rival gang. Rito Denteo, he's kind of a rival gang of ours. Does a lot of other business, but he still exists in town if you wanted anybody else to talk to. But it's just a suggestion. If you want to talk to somebody about anything, Miss Mall would be more than adequate to speak with.
Fair enough.
Definitely take that under advisement, Bo.
Bo.
Oh, and I'm sorry, there was one more thing. As you guys are about to leave, one
The
of,
banjo explodes.
yes, no, one of Sonny's boys. You're actually on the street.
Sonny boy!
Sonny's boys.
Well, one of Sonny's band. Kinda,
Oh, that's right, the old men.
they kind of catch you on the way and basically said, "Hey, a telegram came in for you fellers."
Telegram?
Telegram?
I don't want it!
Telegram for you?
Chang, stop.
Chang
Chang Lu already gave us a basket full of food, so we'll hold off on the cram.
It's not a telespam.
If I open it up, is he going to ask me about the warranty on the wagon?
We've been trying to reach you regarding the warranty on your wagon.
It's about to expire.
But to let you know, Cobb, the cream is a very good berry sauce.
Cranberry.
Now, cram, it is a cranberry, but the name of it is cram. It's a Swedish thing, and it goes excellent on groundcocker.
Rakaka. A
Right.
Rakaka?
Not sure I want any ground
It's
caca.
like custard.
Oh, all right.
Cram and
Sounds a
groundcocker.
little too much like caca for me.
Yeah. And I sure as hell don't want to eat no custard either.
Anyway, they give you the telegram. You read it.
Yeah.
It explodes when you open it.
That says,
Stop what you're doing.
it's a personal telegram from General Lee.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
I pull off my hat.
He's like,
Did someone die?
pleased to hear from you, my dear friends. Stop. I'm intrigued by the last message by Mr. Beauregard. Stop. I'm sending a friend of mine, Mr. Taylor, to meet you in your destination at the watering hole. Stop. Looking forward to you in the future and this endeavors. For blood and honor.
Ooh. Getting a little cryptically bloodthirsty there.
Blood and honor. In addition, my wife asked
Bo, if he's busy.
asked if Mr. Smith is doing well, and we both send our regards to him over his recent loss. Lee. Because remember his wife came out and
Stop,
gave
Lee.
condolences at your grave.
Oh, yeah.
So did he.
Oh, did they?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Lee actually personally came out and had a conversation with you and was at the graveside to say, well, I understand
Yeah.
why you didn't come, and found out what happened recently to his wife. And
Mm-hmm.
she came as well with a bouquet of flowers put on
Yeah.
the grave.
Was I there too, or
Yeah.
okay?
Wow.
I don't know if you remember that or not. But
Now that you mention it, I do. Yeah. So, like,
he's not even, the conversation, well, I know it's not easy, and
Yeah.
almost kind of like, I know who you are, but
But that
sometimes
sucks.
we do things
Right, yeah.
we're not proud of. He's
You're
done
one
it
in the
too.
north, and I'm in the south yet.
Well, and he just kind of like, we do things in war too that we're not happy with. So
Yeah, true.
decisions we have to live with every day.
Ugh.
But yeah. So
Okay, well, I kind of. That's from Mr. Lee. Well, General Lee. He goes, he's sending a man to meet us at a place called the Watering Hole in Nashville.
All right.
Named by the Mr. Taylor. Have you ever heard of him?
you're in the military. Who's in the
Yeah, I was
military?
in the military.
Go ahead and roll your. I guess it'd be. We'll just substitute. Area knowledge.
If it's something to do with Lee, remember, I was only in the Tennessee Army, the two different armies.
Okay.
So,
I'll just make the target number
You were
probably
actually in the Confederate.
Right.
well, you were in
Confederate.
East. Were you with the Army of Virginia or the Army of the Tennessee? What area?
It was Tennessee.
Were you here in this area? Okay, so you'd be the same as me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so basically 11 or better area. Just roll your knowledge. I won't put a penalty.
Just straight knowledge.
Yep. But you gotta get them on 11.
Pop. 12.
Red Pop 2.
11.
Okay. Well, most of you know him. His real name is Walter Taylor, which actually in real life history he was
Walter Taylor.
Walter Taylor. Well, he was his actual top aide,
Okay.
and he was a very honorable man. Did a lot of stuff. He was very man of the world. Knew lots of things like well educated. Did all sorts of things, and he was a very good man in the military. I probably knew him, and he was very
Right.
very honorable, a true soldier, and he believed in no back to everything else. Kind of the exact opposite of some of the generals. It's like, no, I mean, this man surrendered. We're going to honor him, and he's one of those people too. It's like we are all the same people. It's unfortunate we're having a disagreement over this border. He was actually one of the men that really pushed to have the slaves freed as well. So he was very.
They also fight Santiago
Huh?
in the Mexican American War.
Yes, he did.
There's a song about him.
Yep.
Really?
General Taylor. Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, that's who he is, and you recognize that name. So he's probably talking about. So
Cool. Get to meet General Taylor. I've only been singing about him since I was.
he
20 years old.
wanted to leave, step down. He did too as well. The staff did.
Oh, Taylor. That's a different Taylor.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's a different Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you sure?
Wasn't sure.
I thought it was the same song. You did. No.
I don't know. I don't know.
Same general. I think. I don't know.
Anyway,
We'll
so,
find
yeah,
out.
that was the telegram.
I'll Wikipedia it tonight.
There you go.
Okay, well, I guess me and him both heard of him. Anyway, we kind of, like, explained to you, he was a top aide to Mr. Lee.
All right.
Served in the military as well.
You gonna meet us down there?
Up there, yes.
Up there? Yeah, okay.
Supposedly, I don't know exactly how long it's going to take him. There's no dates or anything.
So I guess Lee's
Well, Lee had a
what
train,
we're
so
doing.
he'll probably be out there by train long before you guys are. So.
Probably a couple of days.
So I guess Lee's all for what we're doing,
He has to be.
or at least not against it.
Not against it.
All right then.
As
He's
he said in
not
that
saying he's for it
telegram.
either, so I imagine we're going to discuss matters with Taylor. So, more than likely, they're probably going to tell us to stop. Everybody else is telling us to stop. And then, what was the last part? Miss says hi.
Yeah, it's about his wife and he both send her continued condolences and hope you're doing well, Mr.
They also mention you,
Okay.
Mr. Smith,
Oh,
offering you continued condolences for your wife.
well, thanks.
At least they remember.
Yeah. Kind of shocked about that. Man with so much on his mind, I didn't think he worried about a criminal.
Too bad they don't remember the right person, Mr.
That's
Smith.
fine. It's thought that counts. They know who I look like. Of course, if they're smart, and Mr. Lee probably is,
It's
Well,
very
they
well
know
possible
he-
as well.
As you know, telegraph taps and everything else. So.
yeah, I'm sure they know who I am.
Oh, they did.
As long as the gremlins don't get a hold of it.
Don't feed them after midnight.
Keep them dry.
Pretty much the first couple days are pretty uneventful. Pretty much you're traveling and camping and everything else like that.
Make sure to set up a guard at night.
Third night
I-
though.
okay, I mean,
I'm gonna set up a garter at night.
Roll for night terrors for these days.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
What
grab
was
it.
that? Roll on.
Is there how you doing shifts?
No. Night terrors.
Spirit target number, I believe, of 7.
I thought it was 9. Should be on your sheet.
Hold on, let me check. Maybe I can find it real quick.
Whoa!
That was a mic test. He tested me. That was one bird.
That was one more. Hello, TikTok land. How's everybody doing out there?
Until you don't have a liver. One beer.
My phone keeps dropping the connection. That's weird.
What?
This phone keeps dropping connection.
Let's see if I can find it here.
See what this phone's doing. It's still good.
Night terrors, okay. Make a spirit check target number of 7.
Oh, it is 7. Okay.
Spirit. Target. 7.
Chips left over. Oh yeah. Chips left over from the previous session. So if you're drawing chips at the beginning of the session, you should roll before that, if it applies. But anyway,
But this is on a nightly. So.
yeah, so you can spend chips on the roll. If you fail, your character loses your highest value chip. Oh, this is the new version. Represents fatigue and strain of the constant go bust, and your character loses your highest value fate chip. But I think
We're
I
not
have
doing
it.
that. They're doing like the penalty.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
-2.
-2, then -4, then -6, and then collapse and reset.
Everything online.
So you
is
failed.
So on
You failed
spirit-
the day. This day.
Yeah,
This
for the
is
first day. So the second day. Oh my god, I got 3 ones.
Oh, you went bust.
I went bust.
Oh boy.
So what does that mean?
You definitely don't sleep.
I mean, any other additional penalty?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
We had 397 viewers on this feed.
Wow.
Wow.
I had to stop it because it kept dropping for some reason. So.
If I remember right, if you went bust.
D&D 22, the
Whoops.
unstoppable.
Shh.
That's next year. This is only 21.
Because I know if you go bust, like you are actually transported to the hunting grounds, but I can't remember what the penalty is.
Would that be during the sleep cycle?
Yeah. And I can't remember what you. Let's see.
I went busting a big way. I had a 5 and 3 1s.
I knew I should have brought my books, and I didn't.
Is it one of these I have?
No, you've got the updated version where it's fake chips. I have the original.
Well, just wing it.
Yeah. For now, let's say, yeah. Since you went bust, you do lose your one of your highest fake chips. So you lose a blue chip. Because I know it has something to do with you actually get transported during your nightmare to the hunting grounds, and it's like you're fighting for your life. So for now, we'll just represent with that.
All right.
You need to buy that thing off.
Okay, that was the. I'm wanting to work towards that, but
Yeah, I got a story
that
for
one I
it.
have to do. I have to work on that.
I'm going to do that one.
Yeah, he's gonna do your.
I'm doing it.
Funny enough,
That's why I
my
gave you
story.
that thing. That's the beginning of it. Here's some background to it.
Oh, okay.
There's Walter Taylor. Looks like Skeet Ulrich.
It does. That's weird.
Give the phone a quick restart here.
Okay, I'm -4 after we start off after our first night on the road.
Ooh.
Okay, so that was a 9, so a 7. So target is 7. So okay, after the second night on the road, I got a good night's sleep, so I'm good to go.
Okay. So you rest up and all your
I rest up and
penalties are gone.
right. Okay, Mike. After that first night we camped out, I really had a bad
Right, I
night.
heard that.
Yeah. But after the next night, I didn't have any, so second full day on the road then. Well, after the second night camping on the road, I'm good.
Okay.
Now, you see, there's a third night camping?
Yeah, the third night so how are we doing watches on that anyway? Is it every couple hours, or is it only a couple people, or how do we do the watches?
We're just 2 people a night
Okay.
Yeah.
for 4 hours.
Okay. So it'd be first night, second night, third night.
I'll take the first night and the third night.
Okay, would be the second one.
I'll take the second shift for
Okay.
those.
So you can go ahead and roll for your sleep.
Okay. The third.
I guess I'll take third shift.
We only had 2 shifts.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you had the other night, so.
Right.
Do that again. No, I didn't make target of 7, so I'm going to be -2.
Okay.
I gotta go pee. Damn it.
Alright. Who had the first shift?
I'm gonna squeeze it.
That would have been Bob, right?
Yeah, that's it for shift.
All
What
right.
night is it?
Third night.
Third night.
You're getting closer to up that way now. You did pass a column during the day.
Column
Yeah,
of soldiers?
Yep. Heading out. They're heading more west, but it's probably about 300 men. But you had to pull kind of off the side of the road as they pass. That's been about the only thing. There's farmers, other people you pass on the way, but not too much at all. No one really gives you much of a glance. Some of the soldiers maybe do, senior chaplain. Some of them, nod or pray or something like that.
Mhm.
Most priests. A couple of them will holler out, Olaf during the day, pray for his fathers, so on and so forth. Eventually that night, you kind of camp, and it's kind of getting night. You're near a stream. It's pretty nice out. Actually, it's been pretty peaceful the whole trip up here. Dale, you have been having odd dreams, like
Since you got the anger
Like the first night was like you're kind of going up a mountain, and it's a very tough journey. And there's all these difficulties as you go up the mountain, and you don't even remember when you wake up what the difficulties were, but they were just very hard to do. Get up this mountain, and when you do get up there, like you almost get to the top, and then you wake up. It's a little restless night, kind of fighting stuff all the way up. The second night, you've been same sort of thing. You're back at the bottom of the mountain again. It's like this time though, there's people with you, and they're trying to help you up the mountain. And you're letting before you push them off. So you're helping people go up, and there seems to be other forces there or other meanings. And as you see at the top of the mountain, there is like a light, but it's like a sort of like a full moon light, like eclipse over the full moon. You know
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's got that aura, but you know, there's still like a blackness behind there. There's something at the top like a temple or something.
Oh.
Okay.
And eventually you get up, you almost get to the gate, but to help
You got nice hands.
Thank you.
like you almost don't want to go in.
Okay.
Screw it up
And
again.
then the third night, you get back up there a lot easier, it seems. And as you're going up, there's a lot of people, like nondescript people, like journeying you as you're almost coming through, like the town to the temple. It's definitely Asian look of everything, but the people are nondescript. They're almost like blank faces with lines. It's kind of like out of a, one of those, anime, cartoony ones. They've got like these full flowing heads or bigger heads and just like strange
Bunch of chibis.
Yeah. And as you get up to the temple, there's a lot of people saying, "You don't deserve to be here. We should take him out." And basically, you sense there's a presence behind you, and you kind of look, and there's like a dragon there, and it's going like, "Why are you here?" And then you kind of look up, and you do see like there's like a figure behind these two big doors of the temple. It's like the Chinese walls.
Yeah, real ornate.
And they've got the double line across, and there's kind of like stairs going up, and you can just see a figure kind of standing on like a dais up there. And the dragon's kind of like looking around. All these people are and they're like, "Why are you here?" And then somebody wakes you up. Really? Why are you here? And all of a sudden, cows wake you up.
Why are you here?
Want a beer?
Have some coffee.
Yes, let's.
You're rested though.
Yes,
when you wake
have
up.
some.
Yes, have some.
But I'm rested.
Yeah, you're rested.
Okay.
Every night, you can't wake up. You
Weird
can't.
dreams.
You alright?
No, just weird dreams. Something about this amulet, probably, because I don't normally dream about Asian culture and dragons.
And you see,
And you probably would
That
think
does
it's
sound
weird.
pretty weird.
you do see Dennis over there, kind of.
Do you like some coffee with that whiskey?
Whiskey's fine. Was he really thrashing around?
Not as bad as the other night, but he's definitely having a bad night. But
Because I've never really noticed that before until now. Usually was sleeping in inns and stuff.
yeah, the other night he really had.
Hotels, not inns.
The other night he really had a bad. You could tell it was about the war and everything else. He was just having that. Because he rolled a 3, so it was almost. He almost went over and kind of held him down, and he finally came out of it.
He was thrashing so bad he wasn't biting his tongue, he was biting yours.
He latched on.
Tasty.
Might have to see if I can find something from God's wisdom to help him out with this.
You probably corked the bottle of whiskey. That always helped me.
It was helping me through some too.
You don't remember much.
Get a little bit of whiskey and put it in my coffee. I actually throw out the coffee, just put in the whiskey.
Is it morning that we're waking up to travel?
Oh, I was
on
No,
first
tonight.
shift. I was on
Okay,
first shift.
So I'll just, the rest of the night I'll probably kind of watch, but I'll keep an eye on him. Make sure if he's still having night.
It's not as bad. It's more like
Just restless sleep.
restless sleep. Go ahead and roll your cog. And Rob, roll your cog. You can add keen and stuff to it.
16.
Urban kind of said camp thinking about stuff.
17.
You kind of hear a rustle or a crack cut out in the woods. A little bit more off, but there's something moving out there. You can hear it. Like maybe a critter or something, but you do hear something.
Trying to turn on the night vision scope I have on my gun, and
You're asleep.
I know. I was wondering.
It just does that automatically.
You kind of find out there. You kind of hear moving off that one. Then you hear something over this way, too.
Okay.
There's a couple. Well, the 16 is like pretty good sized animal. A couple wolves maybe, or coyotes. They're kind of far away, but they're kind of rustling around the edge of the camp.
I'll keep an ear out and watch.
You're kind of, Rob, you're kind of getting up out of bed. And you smell breakfast.
Breakfast from yesterday.
Ooh, tuna!
What?
It's that General Tso's chicken again! They went right through me.
Who's cooking breakfast?
You're not sure. You look up, you're kind of in like some cabin. You're not too sure. You can hear.
I'm in a cabin.
Yeah, you hear, what's her name, humming. What's her name? I can't think of yours.
Oh, Lily.
Lily, humming off the way.
Does this seem odd to me, or do I seem like I'm...
You've kind of maybe had dreams like this. Maybe not this cabin, but just kind of like places.
Right.
You know.
I'm just going to play along with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're just having a dream, and sometimes she talks to you in that.
Right.
This is you finally up, sleepyhead.
Yes, honey, I'm sorry. It's a long night.
Mm-hmm. I wish you remembered every night. Dreams.
And I just... No, I'm kidding.
Oh, thanks.
That's not what I was thinking, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh, is it?
Make a good dream.
Yeah, we'll make a good dream. Do you want to do that?
Sure.
All right, that happens.
Yeah.
Is
What
that
just happened?
I can just see him over there having
Jacob and Lily are
He's
boinking.
having night terrors, and I'm
Or
like,
Kelvin, not
Jacob
Jacob.
is talking to me. Cobb's sitting there watching the sleep. Jesus, what am I traveling with?
Yeah, he's kind of asleep, and then you do see him kind of like that Ghostbusters scene. Over around. He kind of rolls over a little bit. Oh yeah.
If he starts inching over towards me, separate us. So.
Yeah.
Where's Bo when you need him?
Bo's
here too.
does that all the time.
Yeah. I was going to say, just put them next to each other here.
There you go. Those are
Somebody will wind up.
Those are pillows.
Somebody will wind up pregnant. Don't do that.
But yeah, you kind of finish up, and he's like, "Well, breakfast is cold now, but we'll warm it up." She does. And
Go on the
you're
day.
eating.
Right?
You're kind of ravenous. It's actually delicious, and
Mm-hmm.
you're having all that sort of thing, and you start hearing a pounding at the door. The cabin.
Get my gun. Go to the door.
There you get the gun. It's an old musket.
Shit.
Powder musket. And you open the door, and it's your head man at your business. Like he's all in the street.
At my
4-piece
business?
Yeah, your 4-piece suit.
Oh.
That.
Oh,
He's he's
the.
down there with like a briefcase.
Uh-huh.
There's some other people behind him, and he's in like one of those hallways of New York City, kind of like the office thing. He's like, "Sir, we've been trying to find you. Aren't you coming back to do your business?" Yes.
What business?
You're in charge of this industry.
You all taking care of this, remember?
Well, we can't do it alone. And as they're talking, it's like the guys behind him are like, "Oh, yeah, you're coming back." And they gotta start getting like,
Like rabid?
yeah,
Like-
and they're like, their tongues start hanging out, and they start looking kind of like dogs. It's like, "Sir, you've got to come back." And they start like, "Ah, come on." Like,
I shoot them.
you start laying on the thing, and she slams the door. He's having breakfast.
You think you just saved their lives, honey?
I think so. Come on now, get in the canoe.
Didn't we just do that?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Then you turn around, and you're at a riverbank, and there's like an Indian canoe.
Now I start thinking something's weird.
You didn't
Really now?
Just now.
Wait a minute.
Lucidity dawns.
Yeah. Come on. I ain't paddling this. You're doing it.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on, so I'm actually stopped and like trying to. Like, where am I?
Yeah, you're kind of river you can remember seeing.
Is it something?
Actually, you look back, it's kind of one that when you're in the military, like one of the main rivers that heads up towards through Memphis and all that.
Yeah.
It just, you remember like, oh, it's literally like this place. It's a pretty place. You were like, this camp
So-
there with the military.
Okay.
You know, you can kind of hear the camp back behind you a little bit, but it's an Indian canoe.
Right. Strange. I'll get in the canoe.
Right. And she hands you the oar, and you
I'll
can
start paddling.
Yep. And after a while, you're getting tired. And she just kind of sits back with her shawl and her umbrella, and you're like, "Well, this is ridiculous. I got enough money to get something." And there's like this. You turn back, and there's like you just start pulling on a lever, and then it's basically this Ghost Rock motorboat. And then pretty soon, there's like a raft comes up next to you, and basically you see these big wolves, about the size of a horse, and it's you look at them, and it's like, remember the vampires?
Yeah.
Those wolves, they're
Mhm.
like up and they got their tongues out and they're like, stop. Fly on by. She's like, well, they seem nice. She kind of waves.
I'm just like, what the fuck?
And then like,
That is the last time I eat Pizza Ranch.
Before going to bed, yes.
and then back behind, like, did you see that one Indian that you actually turned into a human?
Yeah.
And then he's basically on skis. And he's like the Indian, like, when he just goes by, he goes like, what are you doing in this woods?
I don't know.
You have strange hunting ground.
Agreed.
You start hearing some movement and some growling.
You hear
Closer.
Kelvin.
Yeah.
You hear Kelvin go.
Alright, I'm gonna roll him out of the campfire area as a sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
I'm gonna hang a pork chop around his neck. And I can sit there and watch.
You're gonna like your big fist and smack him away. The Looney Tune.
Yeah, I'll probably just kind of keep an eye out, make sure they're actually getting closer before I bother anybody to wake them up.
With a 16 still, you do notice like some shadows get closer, and you can almost hear them sniffing, but they're big wolves. And again, they look. Remember those wolves you
Yeah.
have with the vampires?
Yeah.
They look similar to those size.
Okay.
They seem to just kind of scoot around the camp a little bit. And then for a brief, one of them you notice, which was the one chief one,
Yeah.
you remember you spoke to?
Yeah.
There was like a real big one, if I remember right.
Yeah.
You see him kind of in the shadows, and you can see his eyes, and you
Right.
recognize those eyes.
Oh, okay.
And it just kind of like just leering at you.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of nods a little bit, and then they all move away.
Okay. As soon as I recognize it, I'll probably like uncock the hammer
Yeah.
and just kind of do the.
It kind of blinks,
Hey,
and that's when it
hey.
blinks and nods, and then they all seem to move away. And then you kind of wake up, Rob, soon after that.
I'm gonna. As soon as they wander away, it's like, cock, cock. Well, that's weird. So if they move away and
They don't come back. They're
okay. Well, I'll let the guy sleep, but I'm definitely gonna.
He wakes up
be
though,
on edge.
kind of soon after that.
Huh.
He's sitting there with both guns on his knees.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Problems?
Not really, but we had some old friends visit. Sort of.
What?
Remember the wolves we fought?
You just see
Like
Kelvin kind of
Cumberland
go
Woods.
pale, like, yeah,
They were around here.
yeah, they're in my dream too.
It's like see him on the boat. You have a heap of
I'm not gonna tell him that. I'm just gonna say I seen them.
Apparently, they were here for you then.
Hmm.
So I saw the big one. He just nodded at me, and they all left. Now you're awake. So whatever they had to say to you must have been important.
I think I'll join you the rest of your shift.
dude.
You see me get up and
I mean, everyone's had weird dreams. You woke up, so you
Right.
vividly remember it,
Yeah.
So.
I'll just hang out and watch for a while myself. That's all right.
Uncock the hammer.
I pull out the big 50.
Pretty much it's uneventful the rest of the...
I don't know if they're talking to him or not.
Next,
calm him down.
it's pretty quiet the rest of that night.
Okay.
Next morning, you guys wake up. Your fourth day, heading into town. So.
When we wake up,
Yeah.
or when I get the guys up, I'm going to kind of walk out in where they were. Just to see if they, not... I'll kind of track, see if I see footprints, even though I know they're there. But I'm also looking to see if they left anything. So,
Go to
Droppings.
tracking.
Yeah.
They left little droppings, which if you put together, it'll form something.
It says 4 Kelvin.
Word says
4 Kelvin.
11.
11? Yeah. How many were? I don't remember. Mike doesn't remember how many there were. I want to say like
12.
12 of them. It was like
Something like that.
12 or 14. I think.
Yeah.
There's only 4 here,
Okay. Alright.
and one of them was the.
Yeah.
You do recognize some of the tracks. They are those same wolves.
So we are kind of in that area, sort of. Not right in that area.
But it looks like they kind of scattered out of camp, like they were seeing who you were.
Right.
Maybe you're getting close to their
Yeah.
grounds, and then
Probably getting close to their territory.
they kind of saw who you were, and then they left.
Okay.
They all left kind of in a hurry after that.
Okay. Well,
More and more like, oh, we gotta get out of here. More like, oh, okay, we know who these guys are.
yeah. Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which again, maybe they smelled your scent. I'm like, hey, oh, who knows?
You were dreaming about him, though, weren't you?
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting dream. They were motorboating.
Was it a girl?
She's like going up on a raft on the river, and I was in a boat. It was strange.
Right.
I don't know what they were thinking. Or what it was all about.
not the least of which the raft was going faster than your motorboat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they passed you.
And they were skating.
Well, I was rowing pretty hard. I had some sort of motor on the boat
Ghost rock
That
and
was-
all.
making it go quite fast, and they were able to pass me on the raft with a water-skinned Indian behind them.
Werewolves will do that, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. What
Yeah,
did
a lot of
what,
skills.
what did we eat the night before?
The last of the
Last of the-
Chinese food.
Yeah.
The last of the
So obviously, 4-day-old Chinese food's not the best thing to eat when you go camping.
Probably not the best thing to eat ever. But, okay.
All right, you guys start heading into
And
town.
I'll tell you guys about what happened.
You'll have to get into Nashville
That's
tonight. So
Coming
basically,
in under the cover of night.
as you are heading into town, there's a lot more traffic and stuff like that.
Beep, beep, beep.
You do see a few more like cavalry kind of pass you by early in the morning, like another 20 cavalry. They seem to be kind of in a hurry, just right past you. But there's farmers and everything else kind of moving by like that. Eventually, you come down to like a pretty good sized bridge, the stream, and as you're kind of heading up that way, you can all roll your cogs. You can add any vision or keen.
2 8s. Yay.
Okay.
1 pop. 2 pop.
He's
10.
21.
Let's do 13.
okay. All right. Well, all heaping eagle eyes here. You see, there's basically kind of a farmer passing by, and there's a group of 5 men. They're kind of barricaded the bridge a little bit, and as the farmer kind of goes on past, looking a little disheveled. 21, you can tell too. He's like putting some money away, and the other guys are putting something away. So it looked like they're kind of doing a blockade of the road with the 21.
Mhm.
And the farmer basically kind of goes on, and they kind of set the little stick branch up across the barricade, and there's 5 men. They're all in old Confederate uniforms. You, with the 21, you can tell one's a corporal. He's got 1 arm. You guys will notice one guy has an arm. Kind of has a beard. Pretty well cleaned up though. There's another old guy, and he's got like one tooth, and he's got so much chaw spittle that his beard's all brown right here.
Yum.
And he will stink when you get close to him. There's another guy with a limp, and he's kind of the one moving the thing back. He's a little portly, but you can tell he's got a limp, probably from a shrapnel from a cannon. There's another guy who's just kind of on like their little wagon thing they have there, and when you see him, he's got wild eyes. He's like that guy in the group that's like, he's probably the guy going to pull the gun.
Oh, okay.
You know,
The twitchy one.
the twitchy one.
Yeah.
Then there's another guy, and he looks like an old 20s greaser. His hair's all greased back. He's got gangly. You might have related to the what's his name back there? Watley. But he's not quite that ugly, but he's probably got the ugliest sin thing on him, and he's basically running around, and you can tell even from as you get closer, he talk. He's like talking to that guy, talking to this guy, talking to him, and like blah blah blah, and he'll go over and start helping the guy move the branch back, then stop and go over and say something to this guy, and then he's all over the place. Like, yeah. But you kind of see that up ahead. You can definitely, they all are armed peacemakers and rifles. Some have rifles. The old guy's got a double barrel shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
But as you approach, they do have they seem to have a 2-wheeled wagon with a couple of horses, and then the other guy has a horse. So, but as you approach, they see you, not yet, but you guys all see that with the farmer. They're all concerned with him. So
You're on the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running.
Okay,
I'm
on my horse.
driving the wagon.
I'm on my horse, Peter, Paul, Mary, and as we're approaching, I kind of edge over to the wagon, kind of halfway lean down.
they haven't seen you guys yet. You've rolled enough to see them.
Great boys, maybe.
More than likely.
Are we going to go through and pay a toll, or are we going to gun them down, or are we going to go around?
I'm kind of looking around at this. The lay of the land. Is there a way to go around?
Not over the stream. You might find a ford of the stream if you go off the way down the way, but the wagon's going to stop you.
Problem is, we've got this damn wagon.
If you didn't have the wagon, yeah, but you got the wagon.
Can we find
Go
out?
through.
Did you have some kind of letter from Lee
I didn't.
of some sort?
No, we just got a telegram.
You do
No,
know
from prior. The Battle of the Bridge.
Yes, you do.
After-
but you
after
also
that-
know that General Anthony Hemlock and Lee are adversaries.
Yeah.
Hemlock
they
runs
didn't
the
get
Grey
along.
Boys. They didn't get along.
Well, if these aren't Grey Boys,
Yes.
the Lee will get us through.
But if they are Grey
If
Boys,
they
they
are
might
Grey
just start a
Boys,
fight.
All bets are off.
Let's just play it
Well,
like with normal people
If
coming
they're
into
not
town.
Grey Boys and they're just regular Confederates,
Mhm.
whether they're militia or not, then we shouldn't have no problem no matter what.
And if they're Grey Boys, we're going to have a
They're
problem.
going down.
Or we just act like we're normal people trying to get through.
As long as they don't recognize who we are.
If they ask for a toll, I suppose.
I pull the
Bye.
handkerchief up like we're,
I guess if
you know,
they wanna-
trail dust.
Yep.
If they want a toll, we can just pay them and go on through.
That ain't much, yeah.
When you guys start heading
Get a
up,
smile.
I look at Copperhead and I pull my handkerchief up over my nose. Damn trail dust.
I was just thinking, well, we could rob them. I've done that before.
I pull my collar up over my nose.
Cop pulls
It is
his,
funny because
Cop pulls his frock over his head.
When he does
Injun Joe's.
Y'all.
Y'all.
anyway, as you kind of get a little bit further on, the wild eye guy kind of spots you guys, points you out, and they kind of just wait for you to come up. They don't really do anything. They just eye you. They all kind of, some of them take a couple positions. The old guy never moves from where he's sitting. And as you get fairly close, one armed one kind of moves out in front with the dirty guy with the limp. They kind of, one's got, the limp guy has a repeating rifle kind of on his side, and the other guy's got just a pistol. But they kind of come out the road and kind of put their hand up.
Now,
to
did the
you.
one armed guy say like outrank these guys? Like he's a corporal or something? The others
Yes.
are below ranked? Or...
Yeah,
At least
they don't
that's the
have
uniform he's wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're kind of tattered. You can tell they're older uniforms.
A lot of people still wore their coats and stuff because it may have been the only thing they had when they mustered
right.
out.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Didn't
That's
have
what
enough
this
money
looks
to
like.
buy new clothes.
Right.
So
Good evening, gentlemen. Soldiers.
Evening. What's about you folks doing out this ways?
Oh, we're just doing some commerce. Got some things to sell. Seeing what we got for
What they
trade.
got sale? They said they got something to sell. I said, the talkie guy. What y'all selling?
Hold on, we don't
Shut
have.
up.
We ain't got nothing to sell. We're looking to buy.
That means they got money.
Well, our contact in town does, yes.
They look like they got money out there. New wagon. I bet they got money. I bet they got. What you gonna buy? What you gonna buy out there? You gonna buy stuff?
Guns, actually.
Hey, them priests. I see that. You shut up and let me talk. Sorry about that, Padres. Federal preacher, huh? Catholic?
That would be.
Well, we looking for some friends of ours out these way in the woods. You haven't seen any other fellas, some other soldiers running around?
Seen all
Soldiers?
kinds.
No.
Can't dress like us?
Like Confederates?
Yeah.
Well, that would happen when you're in Tennessee.
They
There's
can't
lots of
smile.
Confederate soldiers.
Thank the good Lord, says the old one.
Amen, brother.
Exactly who are you with anyway? Clearhole? Bragg?
We represent
The Lollipop Guild.
Lollipop Guild! Oh, I fucking just had enough of this shit. I pull out my shotgun.
I says, well, we're sort of a militia for Nashville. So we're kind of collecting a bit for road improvements.
An old soldier's home, no doubt.
That's it. It'd be good to help the veterans, yeah. Some of us can't quite do what we used to.
God bless you, son.
So you resort to robbery. I got
Yeah.
What's the toll?
He kind of looks back. Oh, that's wagon. I think that's $1 a wheel. All right,
I look over. I just
$4,
look over
gentlemen.
Got $4 buckshot.
I'll hand them $4.
He kind of goes, but since y'all priests, and I hate to take out of the pot, we'll just make it 2. How's that?
Well, that's very generous of you.
I know it is.
I'll hand them $2. But
God bless you. Keep
I literally pulled $2 out of my pocket. I don't count out money in front of them. So.
The dirty one kind of limps on up. And everybody, Twitchy's guys kind of eyeing you, eyeing all of you.
I just kind of calmly look at him.
Yeah, he's kind of got that.
And if he's got his hand on his gun, I just kind of flick my eyes down and look at him, just calm as can be.
I'll probably actually look at him and go, you alright, son?
Just a little nervous.
Really nervous. What will I be nervous about?
You got shell shock, son?
the wolves.
What do you know about it?
I've heard quite a bit about it, actually.
Obviously, they've probably been veterans. Yeah. Just lost some men out in the woods. I'm gonna find them.
Your men?
Yeah, we lost 3 fellers. Jack and Reginald and Dwayne, they out in the woods looking for him. We lost Mary and Marie. He's my Marie. You used to call him Mary because they don't need to know.
So who do you think, what happened to him?
We don't know.
What were they doing out in the woods? Look for somebody?
Well, I imagine they were foraging for food.
Yeah, well, we do what we can to survive.
As all soldiers do.
Might have been the wolves. We just seen some wolves. We heard some
What?
wolves about a day back.
They all tighten up. The guy he locks eyes with you. What'd you say?
I said the wolves. We had heard some wolves back down the road a day
He
ago.
goes, where you see wolves at?
Didn't see them, but heard them.
There's typically wolves out in the woods, you know.
I understand that. There's normal wolves.
Is there any other kind of wolf?
There's been some bigger ones. I guess you'd probably know it if you've seen them.
Well, sometimes A wolf is bigger than another one.
And where was this you saw?
About today, back on the road.
He didn't see him, he heard him. So we couldn't really tell you how big they were. But they sure like to howl.
They definitely like to stalk around.
Yeah, that they do. You think that's them? No, he raises his hands. Well, I appreciate the information, gentlemen. About then, you can kind of see up the road a bunch of horsemen coming with a wagon. And they're heading this way. And then,
Heading towards us, or
yeah, they're all the opposite, coming from,
coming from Nashville?
yeah, they're heading your way. With your cogs, we'll just keep the same one. Up in front, you do see a guy in a basically a general's uniform. And it's pristine, clean. He has like, blondish, curly hair, and he's got like the full beard, but still blonde with a little bit of gray in it. And it's basically general, and you guys would know that is Hemlock. Up in front with his entourage of about 10 men, and there's basically kind of a wagon behind without a cover, and they're coming at a pretty good trot, and they're kind of coming up, and as you can see, especially you, 21, as he gets closer and he sees the barricade, you can see him get agitated. Like he's like, kind of like, what are they
Well,
doing?
I'll slip him the money real quick, too.
Yeah, you already gave it to him.
Okay.
So, and the guy runs back. Well, he comes up the face and kind of rides on up. He's like, "Hey, it's the General Hemlock's coming." And the old guy goes, "God damn it!" And kind of gets up, and they start trying to move the barricade and stuff out of the way. They the wagon then pull up, and they kind of come up across the bridge more of a trot. And he's kind of up there. And he's the Corporal Hicks. What on earth is going on this bridge?
Corporal Hicks?
Game over, man.
Game over!
He's like, well, just asking people if they've seen anything. Oh, are you? So you are interrogating priests? And obviously men of the Confederacy? Well, I'm just trying to generate some funds for the cause. Yes, you will return that money to that priest right in this moment. And these other gentlemen, whatever you've taken. And he kind of reaches in his pocket, hands you back the $2.
I refuse. I said, no, please. That's a donation.
He kind of looks back to the thing. He's like, well, it's not quite I want to tell these men, but they could use it. Thank you for your help for these veterans.
You're very welcome, General.
Perhaps they need a little education about what has been transpiring. We are not thuggery gentlemen. We are Confederate soldiers, are we not? Yes, sir. Well, let's move this out of the way. He kind of looks at both of you, and he's like, you gentlemen are practicing priests?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry I have to get back in the force here. May I ask a personal favor of you two gentlemen?
You like to take confession?
Well, no, I have nothing to confess about there other than excellency of the Confederacy. But, no, I found a couple men that have lost their lives, and it wouldn't be fit if, before we bury them, they get their last rites. Would you gentlemen mind that?
I do believe I can manage that.
I do personally appreciate that. And he kind of motions that, and they kind of move everything out of the way, and either let you go across with your county officers, like slides off both sides of the bridges, pull off. They pull theirs off that side, let you pull up on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
The guys on their wagon kind of move on down the road. He kind of tells them to keep moving. They start heading down that way. They converse a little bit. And then about then, too, coming from the way you came, there's another 4 riders, those gray boys. And he tells them to get with the wagon. They start heading back the way you came. And they point at you guys every once in a while. And then especially the talky guy.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy holds his hand up. And then basically he sends them on their way kind of where you came from. And he kind of walks on over and he takes his hat off. And he's got the pretty perk. He's clean. And
Who does?
The general.
Okay.
Hemlock. And he's got very high persuasion and everything else like that. But he comes up, yeah, sorry about that, gentlemen. Just tell my boys I heard you heard some wolves the other night.
Last night, General, yes.
Yeah, well,
Is that something you've been having problems with?
I am concerned. These two men that I found in the woods, it came to my attention while I was in town that some men have been finding themselves dead. The two men in the car. Now, this is guess the sight, being that you men of the war. Maybe not you, Padre, but at least you're
I have.
These men have been tore up quite badly. I believe it was by a sort of a wolf of sorts, but pretty ragged. He kind of walks back down. I hate to show you this, but this is what we're dealing with. He dramatically kind of throws the carcass.
Is this in their wagon or?
Yeah, their wagon that they rode up on. You do see two bodies in there, and they're pretty much ripped to shreds. Two Confederate soldiers. I'm going to make you roll because you've seen stuff like this before, so it's not really... actually, why don't you just roll? Just don't botch. Roll your best. You're up high. When he throws it back, you can look at him too.
Just straight guts?
Yeah.
Just don't
Plus
botch.
Just don't botch.
15. Yep, that's nice.
Very good. Actually, 10, be 8.
10.
You do the body, they've been basically mauled, and they do look exactly like the bodies you found with the vampires. Those bodies that were killed when the soldiers would go out and they get killed by the wolves and brought back in. They look pretty much mauled
Same
like
thing.
they were.
So they're having problems with some native wolves too, then.
But they seem to be that way, and they're pretty tore up.
But those wolves did it because of
They were actually
Keeping people away.
keeping people away.
They were actually Indians.
Yeah. And when those soldiers went in, they were like, well, if they escape and they're turned,
Mm-hmm.
that's why they were keeping them there.
And you notice their heads are almost torn off. Pretty much well attacked, tore up pretty well.
Grazers.
Well, I'll go.
Unsavory,
In
as they
Swedish,
say.
I go through a litany.
Yeah. He kind of
Yeah,
eyes
Over
you,
one.
seeing you guys' reaction. Gather you are true soldiers. Most people ghastly this notoriousness. Oh, I'm sorry, Father. I'll let you finish.
I was in the artillery for the Swedish army before I had my calling.
Oh, the Swedish army. You can nail them off some fact.
Probably as a test.
Yeah, you can go ahead. It's actually you being where you were. If you even have a 1 in artillery,
Mm-hmm.
which you do, right?
It's here somewhere.
It's up on top. It's been your dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned something with this at.
Oh yeah. 8, 9. Yeah, I had a 9. So.
Yeah, he mentioned something about a certain battle, which you knew you were actually at.
Mm.
So he actually says something, a little bit of a test, but when you actually said it, he kind of tries and answers the question, but he doesn't know obviously as much as you do. He's like, but he's kind of like, he's probing a little bit, but he's like, oh well, yeah, I remember that battle and such and such. What's forces? Oh yeah, but he's very suave when he's doing it and everything else. So, but yes. Well, we were going to bury these men. There's a cemetery near here, but I'm glad to have run across you gentlemen for this sort of business. I hate to take you away. I don't know if you have to go to the graveside for that sort of thing, but you're welcome to accompany my other soldier here. They're going to take him and bury him. But
It was, I couldn't follow a lease, so I grabbed my horse. I would have it hitched behind the wagon.
well, I'll greatly thank that. I do. I truly do. Thank you.
I see nothing wrong with making sure that 2 soldiers of the Confederacy are buried.
Indeed. It's travesty what's happened to the Confederacy. We seem to be constantly losing. But every once in a while we get a win. Them Yankees are up for a good fight. I think I have an idea that they're up for something they're not planning for.
Well, I imagine my view is a little bit different.
Well, how's that, Bob?
I don't think this war's ever going to end.
Oh, well, all wars end. But just another one stops.
Well, this one's been going on for quite a while.
Well, they said to be over in the weekend, and I agree. I didn't think that'd ever happen. But one day the Confederacy will run supreme. And I think, myself, our brightest day is coming to a head. God bless us and give us a miracle that I think he will shortly. But I believe the Confederacy will soon have another regiment of men ready and willing to fight and save this glorious land from the Yankee northern scum it is.
I doubt very much one regiment is going to make much difference.
You'd be surprised. There you are. Go and roll your scrutinize.
Thank you.
Who else is here with us?
Everybody.
I mean, his soldiers too, though, right?
Yeah. There's only like a couple there with him.
Where is scrutinize at? I forgot.
Anytime you want to do
What are we
that,
rolling
just
for?
say Scrutinize.
Oh.
If you want to scrutinize.
Yeah.
Do we really need to scrutinize? I'm pretty sure there was something sneaky going on there.
9.
With Keen 9.
13.
Yeah, he seems to know something, and he's more than happy to boast about it. You with a 15, though, if you notice his he grins really big, and he kind of has, like, pretty pronounced teeth. He's got, like, those big teeth, but like, a couple of canines look kind of big. But it's kind of like a little unnerving. It's kind of like...
Only he notices
Only
it.
he notices it, though.
Which I'll mention after we.
Yeah. But he smiles deeply. It's like,
for them.
anyway. What business takes you into town if I could personally go in there and tell them you're doing a personal favor for myself? I'll be more than happy to do that for your father.
Oh, no need. There's nothing very important that we're up to.
Oh, all right. Well, the good word of God is quite important as it is. Well, you got a nice wagon you just got there yourself.
Yes, sir.
He kind of looks, he makes some fact about that.
Took us a while to save up for it, did.
Well, it's probably fine. He kind of says something about, like, he's one of those guys that's like, he's a politician.
Right.
He starts saying, oh, is that like a hemlock notch? And you get it here? Or just does conversation, tries to be a politician. And
Right.
everything else. But, yeah, you know the type.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes like, what's your name, sir?
Smith.
Mr. Smith, nice to meet you. Wait. I guess you got quite a priest looking at you over first.
No.
He's the guardian of the clock.
Well, God bless. Wouldn't think it any other way. And then you, sir, your cavalry?
Thank goodness we're wearing
Well,
handkerchiefs. This snarky
Nice to meet you.
laugh that Kelvin just had gave us dead away.
General Hemlock. I don't quite have no. General's fine. I still consider myself a general of the good Confederacy. Well, I consider myself lieutenant. Nice to meet you, sir. They kind of
Bo and Hemlock talking together.
yeah, they kind of like bounce
So,
off each other.
while they're-
Oh, my dick's bigger than yours. No, sir. Look at mine. So they kind of go into conversation a little bit.
So they're distracted while we carry on.
Well, the other men are kind of waiting for the general. The other two of the wagon, they kind of like, well, I guess we'll wait for you. So they kind of.
I go grab my horse and.
As he sees you leaving and that, he's like, well, I saw this mobile today. Yeah, and I personally thank you. He shakes your hand.
Me or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, once again, acquaintance, many dealings and duties to do.
General,
Yep. Blood and honor.
blood and honor.
Word bless and keep.
Roll your scrutinize again.
All of us?
Yep.
Oh, he says blood and honor, and then we roll.
That's the same word thing in his telegram, isn't it?
10. When he says blood and honor,
Yeah.
oh, I know.
18.
Oh my
Jesus!
I double popped on a 12.
Okay,
I got
so
11.
yeah, so you all notice he's kind of like saying it, but like you guys, you got a 9,
All right.
10.
10. You notice he's kind of waiting for something. You're kind of like
Oh, yeah.
a response. He's trying to see if you know something.
If we know what that means.
You know what it means, and if you do, I know who you work for.
Right.
But but he just lets it slip like that. You know it. There's malice in his eyes when he says it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that canine growl a little bit.
Yeah. So show no reaction to the phrase.
But you know, Lee said it in his tone.
Uh-huh.
I didn't tell him that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I didn't specifically read it word by word. I
Oh,
said
okay.
what I said to them is what I said to them.
Yeah, you do hear him say that though, and you know that was in the telegram.
Yeah.
Lee said that. Anyway, he kind of gets that reaction. He's like, okay, all right. Well, gentlemen, duties to perform. And he kind of gets on his horses. He starts riding back with most of the men back to Nashville. And then two of the guys with the wagon are going to go and dig the grave and head back to the cemetery and back down the road. You remember passing a sign that said cemetery way back, so.
Back where it came.
Yeah,
the direction it came from.
it's only like a little bit down the road.
Are we going to pause and do that to let them get down the road away from us? Because otherwise we'll be right with them or next to them or on the way to Nashville.
Well, whatever you boys think is best. I'm gonna go ahead and see these two soldiers
I think
buried.
a little delay to give separation between us and them.
That's fine. If you guys want to travel on back this way with me, that's fine. Or you can wait
It's
here.
only just a little trek back. You remember seeing it's only maybe half a.
I think it's best to keep up with you.
Yeah, we have to stay together.
Well, there's only two men going to bury the grave, right?
They got to dig it too.
So it doesn't matter. Either way, you can wait here, and I'll meet back up with you.
That sounds fine. We'll just wait here if that's okay with you fellas.
You
As long
go
as I
here or
can-
just head right back and go with him to bury.
I guess we could go back with him just in case they get jumped. In case they
No, I just don't know what you're doing. So
Oh.
I didn't hear it.
You guys just wait here. I grab my shotgun out of the buck wagon and throw it in my rifle holster, and
That's fine. They kind of go back, and it's a small. They kind of go up a small little hill, and it's a small little family cemetery. But you do just notice there's like more military graves off to another section. There's probably stuff's happened, and they just let's bury them up here with that. They get out, and the two guys, they kind of have some whiskey. They offer you a shot, and
yeah, I'll take a shot.
they'll just start digging.
I'll actually help them dig if they've got an extra shovel.
Oh, they appreciate it. And then, they just kind of talk, and you find they're pretty easy talking. They're just one guy was in the Tennessee regiment, and another guy's from Virginia, and
I asked the one guys, which regiment were you in?
oh, he tells you one for kind of just infantry. They're both infantry.
Okay, I'm just kind of curious if he would be, because I was in the 2nd Tennessee Regiment, so.
Well, let's see. He was.
Okay. I probably kind of asked him a few questions, and
Oh, he does, and
Yeah.
you probably knew each other a little bit.
no, we wouldn't have known each other.
I mean, you would have
Not
known
unless he's older.
people in
Yeah.
that general thing is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, because it's probably been like 10 years since I was in the military. It's been
But
going on for a while.
Probably an officer or something, and he kind of talks about this or that. And so that takes up a lot of conversation. You keep
Mhm.
talking about the regiment and stuff. But it goes pretty quick. They're pretty strong kids.
They're younger kids, or
Yeah, the other one though, he'll start digging and then he'll kind of stop and kind of get twitchy, gets like a shell shock, and he'll have to go over and sit. And he's like, the guy will give him some whiskey. You just take a rest. It's all right, Henry. Okay, I'm sorry.
is anything all right with Henry?
Yeah, he's got some shell shock. I get night terrors. So.
He goes, now you didn't serve with Hemlock then, did you? During the war.
No. We just started getting in with Hemlock here. He's been kind of recruiting more people into his Gray Boys, but I think he's wanting to start another like a militia regiment. That's kind of what it's sounding like. I mean, I can't really fight, but if we can help. We heard what happened down in Memphis. I mean, the troops were down there trying to blow up the bridge and all that business, and if they try and do that here, we ain't gonna let it happen. So.
Well, that's a good thing. All citizens should pitch forward to help fight off the Yankees.
We're a little closer, and Hemlock's kind of started saying we need a citizen armory. And, let's step up and do a little bit and help one another. And some of the men have been kind of sitting in the saloons and everything else a little too much, so it's good to get some discipline back. So, kind of what we're doing. Feels kind of good to be working again a bit.
So does the city of Nashville fund the militia?
No. Hemlock's been doing out of his own money and some other benefactors.
How many men do you think he has?
Several hundred.
I heard him talk about some special regiments. He referring to
That's probably him.
former veterans?
Yeah, that's kind of us. He kind of smiles.
No offense, but
He raises his hand and he takes a break. He's like, no, Hemlock's a big talker, so, but, I think it makes him feel better after everything happened with him and Lee. So, I think now that Lee's out, he's trying to prove himself again, and he's giving the men a purpose and a little better in what we're doing, and Nashville really fell down and been pretty a bad squalor lately. Things have been changing around. It's kind of good, the streets aren't so criminal, and there's times you had to walk around with your hand on your gun, and now the gray boys, we can patrol and keep an eye out. It's not so bad no more.
well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. And then a lot of that stuff organized. You go certain places to gamble, and we got fellas watching out, and casinos, and there's fights. Those are pretty cool.
What kind of fights?
No, it's like kind of like they do out west.
You mean
That big-
boxing?
Yeah, boxing. They got a couple of them big guys, scrappers with the arms. It's always them two fighting each other, but it's still pretty neat.
I imagine they take in a lot of money through betting and stuff.
Oh, they do a lot of that, but generals kind of tap down all the gray boys. Keep that down. Keep your money in your pockets.
Let everybody else do the gambling for them.
Kind of, yeah. And you guys earn your money keeping the peace. So we get a little bit of money and food in our bellies and a little bit of respect.
He goes, so what do you think about going back to war if Hemlock has his regiment?
I don't know about that. He kind of does seem like that. I ain't no coward, but
Well, everybody's done their time.
I know I have too. But
Even I have.
yeah. But I don't mind being a militia guy. I mean, we're just kind of keeping the streets safe. Keep an eye out for them northern
He made it
scouts.
sound like they were going to win the war.
Oh, that's just him talking. And the other guy kind of comes back. No, Hemlock knows he's pretty good. He's one of them fellas. He believes in what he's doing. Some of them fellas are still pretty good shape. Oh, he's just giving up. He's just a talker. He's a politician. What we're doing right now is the best we can hope for. And I don't want to go back to them, and you sure as heck don't want to go back out there. After the things you've seen, yeah, there's some strange things out there, Father. That's for damn sure.
Kind of strange things. Is something about these wolves?
Oh, they both kind of shudder looking at the wagon. It's like, no, I just remember seeing. He describes like some, which when he describes it, it's a Wendigo. You know what a Wendigo is. But
Yeah.
He describes it on one of the battles. It was there, and that's what really gets him the shock.
Is this the shell shock guy?
Shell shock guy. He actually saw a Wendigo, and it freaked him out. He survived, but it was one of those things where
Failed on the scared chart.
yeah, he's failed. He rolled really high in the scare chart. So, but yeah, he said, yeah, there's stuff like that. The other guy kind of rolls his eyes, like, okay, big monster, Bigfoot thing. But
I go, no, I wouldn't mock him very much. I've seen one myself.
get out of here.
And it wasn't on no battlefield either, but it was here in Tennessee.
The one guy really scrutinized you. He just eyes you, like you're trying to.
I describe it.
That was him. That was one.
I don't know if that was the one or not, but it was one of his kind.
You kill it?
Certainly did. Well, not myself. I barely remember who killed it, but someone did.
Thank God. Go ahead and roll your
That
spirit
crazy
there,
bastard in the wagon with a bunch of dynamite.
Spirit. You think God was on your side?
Who did
that
kill
day?
it? Was it you or?
Yeah, Kelvin blew it up.
Okay.
With dynamite.
Oh, with dynamite?
Yeah,
Didn't you just blow everything up with dynamite?
pretty much. Dynamite kills everything.
14.
Okay. Do you have like preaching or anything like that, or tale-telling, or
Do I have preaching?
tale-telling? There, it is preaching. Is
If it's tell-telling, it's something different than spirit.
yeah. No, I'm just making sure. So
I do have tell-telling.
why don't you go ahead and roll that too?
Yeah, that's where we're gonna bum.
That's fine. Few people pass you guys. Nothing really kind of going on. But
No, 4.
4. You kind of tell a story like that. And, the one Shellquat one. Do you think that was God saving? That was God's doing that, stopping those things. They're going to stop them things, Father.
You mean when we stopped ours? Oh, I think that was mostly dynamite that stopped it. But yeah, in a way, God has a power over such creatures as these. I know for a fact because I'm still here. And
Well, and then you rolled 14 on it.
on spirit,
Yeah,
yes.
that's all I need to know. Well, you can do that. They get the graves dug. You do the last rites on them.
I actually, yes, I give last rights. Not
He
because
gives the
of what
lastest rights he can
not
give.
because of the stuff. I know you gave him the clue about the other stuff, but just the way he said it to me, it was just like, yeah, the whole idea of him having a regiment of super soldiers or something has already got me fucked. And then plus the werewolves were involved with the vampires, so.
Yeah. You do give him last rites. When you're done, he's like, and then they bury him. They all say the last word, and they kind of like are heading back. They're gonna head back to Nashville. They'll follow you back to the bridge. They're like, well, can you tell me about Catholicism? So he'll start asking you questions. The shell shock kid.
Okay.
And there you
Well,
get
you
done.
gotta give up your life to God, and
You
gotta
gotta
do this,
about
you gotta
it,
do
and,
that.
give yourself a white chip.
Sweet.
He will actually
Convert.
Give me a white
convert.
chip. Give me a white. Give me a white.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a white chip. Give me a white chip.
The other guy, no, if you rolled your storytelling, he might have, but that guy.
Should have told him the truth, Con. Tell me
What?
about Catholicism? Well, if you're like me, it leads to a nasty habit of drinking.
Limping around.
Take you years to get over that.
You guys
crap.
do notice them kind of heading back now, coming up to the bridge. And you kind of see them all up there just been kind of hanging out. It's been kind of pretty there. It's a little warm, but, I think it's still winter. isn't it?
Spring.
Getting close to spring.
It's beginning
By
of
the time
spring
we
or
get
something.
back from Mexico, it's probably about spring, like
Okay.
early March, late February.
Well,
Probably early March.
go ahead.
Okay. While he's up doing that, I'm gonna gather the others,
Okay.
and we'll be waiting kind of out of earshot of the gatekeepers.
No, they left. Everyone's
Oh,
gone.
everybody's left. Okay.
He sent them on basically where you guys camped. He said, go out there and see what they're talking about, along with 4 of his riders, and then they all went back. So it's just been you guys at the bridge.
I'm going to.
Some people do stop, like they're waiting to give you money or something, but then they just ride on by real quick.
I'm gonna make sure the one soldier. I tell him places to go in Nashville.
Okay.
Because there is a
a
diocese that it was in Nashville that just got founded not too like 20 years before or something.
Yeah, he's really talking about that. The other guy's like, well, maybe I'll come and listen about this. So the other kid's like, he'll go with him, and they seem to be buddies. So it's like, well, when you come back, I think this is something. I mean, I told you that.
You get free Bible books if you go to church.
You can go ahead and tell him real quick. I'm going to pee again.
Okay. So I'm going to gather the rest of you guys, and there's some things now that General was talking about that kind of put me on edge. I don't know what it was. There's one phrase he kept kind of repeating. I don't know what he meant by that. I get the feeling that he was trying to check us out on something. I don't know what.
Blood Nana, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I picked up on a significance of that, but I'm telling you, I don't know what that significance was since you never actually told us.
Well, I'm asking. No, Cobb is asking. Says that.
Oh,
when
well,
you say that.
I'm talking with them while you're doing the burial.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go have a cigarette then.
Okay.
I'm not here.
But he was. He kind of made an emphasis thing about one regiment being able to do a lot.
I
And
noticed that myself.
I noticed that as he was smiling, he had a couple of pronounced teeth there in the front because his canines are a little elongated. Now, I remember that that whole thing back with the Pioneer Fort there with the vampire in the basement, and the Indians, which were the shapeshifters going into the wolves, and they had been patrolling and they knew about the vampire thing there, and so I find it more than just a coincidence that we had these wolves here in this area, and a couple of the Gray Boys here, they got torn up. They look pretty wolfy attacked to me. And I've got this kind of powerful dread that the general here is more than just a bit of a thing of the bad guys connected with Connors. I think he's I think there's maybe a werewolf, a vampire connection here, maybe. I can't prove it, but it's a very highly suspect situation here.
And Julio's there, and he kind of goes, well, I don't know, but the general, he was always so independent. He had Connor under his thumb, and now it's the other way around. I don't know what happened. I don't know what you're talking about, vampire and stuff, but
It's just something we came across a while back, Julio.
Julio, you said that Connor. Did you witness him eat somebody?
no, but he brought in something and he went into a room and shut the door and ripped the guy apart in there. There was a fight in the cage.
Literally, Kelvin just got a cold chill. He's like, oh.
And then he came back in all bloody and like had a chunk of the guy, threw it down and started eating it in front of me. I've never been so messed up all my life, man. I mean, I prayed to God right there. I'm like, I've gone too far. I prayed for a miracle, and then I met Father Cobb. You want to know?
So it's possible that maybe that's why Connor has now control over Hemlock.
I think Connors perhaps is actually a vampire. Now, we didn't meet Connors yet,
No.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
we
yeah, he
He
did.
was in the bar.
He
Met him
was
at night.
in the-
At the bar at the night.
So maybe that's why he's suddenly in control of Hemlock. Maybe
May
he's
have-
more powerful than Hemlock.
Maybe Connors
Well,
is-
plus the generals run around during the day too, because it is late.
Right. So maybe he's not a full-fledged bloodsucker. Maybe he's something less.
Are the levels to that?
You have
Yeah.
Cult?
Can I roll a cult to see if I would know how he could do that? Maybe he's a ghoul.
Cool. Let's see here. 3D.
you've heard of such things.
Hey,
I got-
15.
I got a 5.
Okay. You're not too sure, but you know people get bit. Kind of your basic vampire stuff.
I got a 15.
Yeah, you've heard people who want to either get enthralled by them or they want to become one, so they become their wards,
Protectors,
day protectors, and stuff like that, in order to be given the gift of immortality as a vampire. So sometimes you've heard that the vampires can bestow gifts on that, like the one gentleman that was down below. Remember, he was kind of controlled by him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was kind of given, you have to come to the master, and you kind of do the other stuff. So you knew that stuff can happen. So, yes.
So now we might have a completely different fight on our hands.
I should have waited for that damn steam tank.
He did bring the Gatling gun, though.
Yeah, not the right one. I need a Gatlin dynamite thrower.
You need it. Well, you need to get mad scientists on
That
the side.
pre-lights the sticks for me as it comes out the barrel.
Better hope it never misfires.
Right.
Right. High reliability.
Maybe you ought to invest in a, I don't know, crossbow, stake thrower.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Pork chops.
Probably do more than dynamite.
This would be the second vampire we had to kill. Or vampires. Is just pushing Kelvin down his monster slayer path even further.
Hopefully make it a little interesting for you guys.
Yeah.
Brought back some of the old history.
Yeah, that
too.
was cool when you were talking about. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about the Indians around the fort. That's cool to have them actually involved again.
Because I like that whole thing of the werewolf. Kind of like White Wolf throwing that in with the American Indian makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I always thought it was perfect.
Well, Brad, you're kind of back on the main road, heading back up, and you can see the bridge, and they're off to the side up ahead.
They got safety cones out.
Yeah. You do notice as you're riding up, they're like kind of like a couple horse guys. They kind of ride up, slow down, like they're waiting to be talked to. And when they don't really do anything, they quickly gallop on and zoom up.
Who was this now?
Just some passerbys, like they're
okay.
almost like they're expecting to get stopped.
Oh, okay.
But when they don't, they just pick up the pace and ride on by. And as you ride, they kind of nod.
Okay.
Kind of not look at you guys. You guys. They kind of just quick nod and movement. So you kind of notice that there's kind of like there might be gray boys, but mind their own business.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But they're kind of talking a little bit as you're riding up. As soon as Dennis gets back here, you're just getting over the bridge and coming up over, and you see Cobb.
I shoot at him.
Okay. Say anything?
Well,
See
the
up
other
there
two
now?
keep on going, or
No, they're gonna pull up. Give a look. They're gonna stop and then say bye and stuff.
Okay, I say bye, and I give them that information again on where to go and
Yeah, we'll definitely go.
who
And
to
he's
see.
like,
And
the other
everything.
guy's kind of like, all right, you got me convinced. I'll at least hear what it's all about.
So,
I'd rather have God's on our side than those things. Like, yeah, see, that kid really seemed to be really affected him, and he's kind of like, I ain't crazy. Those things are real. It kind of made him feel like he wasn't just nuts.
mhm. I reassure him, yeah, no, you're not nuts. There are some things going on, and but
You
they can
kinda
be
hear
dealt
that
with.
while they're talking. And you can hear Wendigo, Dale,
Stone.
so you kind of hear him talk about that.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your cogs. Add keen.
All of us.
Yep. And if you have any vision or other stuff.
Come back
Roll
here.
a box.
28. Wow.
9.
Okay.
I'm about to take off here pretty soon.
18.
Well, we'll get to this point.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead and put us wait for Dennis to get back.
18.
All right. We're waiting for Dennis.
18.
We're waiting for Dennis.
18.
We're waiting for Dennis.
18.
I wonder how many people on Facebook. What's going on?
We're waiting on Dennis.
keeps repeating.
What'd you roll, Rob?
18.
All right. We'll have to wait on Dennis.
18.
Oh, okay. We'll have to wait on Dennis. Oh yeah, he's playing.
So yeah, the Taylor for whatever the Mexican War. That's not Walter Taylor
Oh,
because
okay.
he wasn't in that war.
Okay.
It's I know what Taylor it is. I just can't think of his
Taylor
first name.
Swift.
He's
She was
he's
a
gonna be wearing a
badass.
cardigan, so that way you know it's. He's really hot though. It's kind of odd. But... Dennis, roll your cog, please.
Righty.
Add any bonuses or penalties.
Which balance is that out?
We're bless you and your demon creature. See what role-playing does?
Turns you into Satan.
Zachary Taylor.
Oh.
So, 10.
10. Alright. So 10, 9.
18.
What would you get? We're waiting on Dennis.
18.
28.
Well, you guys definitely kind of up about, I'd say, 30 yards up ahead of thing. You can hear some rustling. And
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, Russell Crowe. You kind of like, hey! You see
I must
some
have
movement up
commanded.
there and somebody kind of rushing through the trees, coming out in the road. You two, you see a guy, Confederate off. You see like just this glimpse through. You'll see it even better.
This is towards town, right?
towards town.
Okay.
Your side of the river.
Okay.
He's stumbling right through, and you see him. He's bloody. He does have like some gash marks on him, and he's like panicked, kind of running through the woods. You see him. He's got like claw marks across the face,
Okay.
like deep claw marks, and they're deep. And they're bleeding. His clothes are ripped. He's got a bite on his shoulder, like a maul bite,
Right.
like a big wolf thing, because he just turns like looking around him, and you're like that perfect thing.
Yeah.
Guy's scared out of his wits. He's got gray streak down his back, pale as a ghost, and basically he's been bitten like across this whole section.
Right.
So they bit him and gnawed his thing, so his cheek is actually flopping a little bit as he's running. And he's in full panic. Look behind him, freaking out. And as you hear that, you with that high, you can hear rustling further into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something following him.
Mm-hmm.
You though, you glance back in the same instant, about around behind him, moving at about a 26 pace.
Jeez.
You see 3 large Get Fenrir.
Yeah.
No, Get. Like
Oh.
full Krynos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the other ones are wolves. These are Krynos.
Oh, these are actual werewolves.
Actual Krynos werewolves. And they're bushing through the woods. One of them has a big black mane, kind of gray. The other one's all white. He's got blood all over his thing. They're both blood all over him.
Wow.
And there's another one who was another like foot taller behind them, and he's gray, like full gray, like older, and he's got gray eyes, and he just looks at you as you look at him,
Yeah.
and it's almost like the other wolf, that look of recognition, but there's just this feral madness.
Okay.
That looks at you, and it's just like he's just huge. The strength is 2d12, just this massive thing.
Okay.
And basically, they're full tilt about around behind him. He's about to come out the road. You go and roll your guts.
Okay.
Target number is 11. Plus your grit.
Okay. Made it.
Well, that look of him looking at you, and there's just some aura that comes over you. And as you get scared, you almost feel this calm wind, like the enemy, like.
Now we fight.
But it's kind of like, even if you botched, maybe there'd been something to calm you.
Okay.
But you like see that, and it's like, holy fuck! You've seen the wolves,
Right.
but
The
you've
big
never
wolves.
seen full-on werewolves.
Right.
And these are the things in the drawings.
Yep.
You've seen them. You guys see this. You see him shot. You see this soldier fall on the street, almost falls, gets up, sees you guys, starts screaming, "For the love of God, help me!" He's as I described, and he starts running at you guys, like with his hands up. His clothes are torn. He's covered in blood. He's got the maul bite. He's got the claws across his face. His chin's flopping like this, and he's just running at you guys. We go into quickness.
I gotta go here.
I know. He's going to run up to you guys. We'll just kind of do this here.
Mm-hmm.
And as he gets to the wagons, we'll give you guys a round when we come back. Basically bursting through the thing, almost like that crazy dog thing where they rip around the vinyl floor. They slide across the road. The two first one run out on the road, and they're just salivating, and they start running towards you guys. And at the back, the big one kind of like leaps up into the middle of the road and lands. And you will all roll your guts check next time.
I'll throw some Chinese food.
Good game, Mike.
So we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Cool.
Brad has to get up early, so we'll leave it there.
Well, sure, on my vacation, we got to end early.
Talk to my dispatcher.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for
joining
tuning in,
us.
everybody. Don't forget to join us next week. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Let us know what we can do better. We live on your comments.
Live on anybody's comments.
Wow. We have 1,067 people tune into this feed up here.
At least
Really?
for some
At
amount of
least
time.
for a few minutes, yeah.
Wow.
Well, last time I had what, like 80?
No, we had
100 and something.